Hey, welcome to another Milepost here on the V-Twin Life. The V-Twin Life is brought to you by a few great companies. One being Crash Inc. Clothing. You can find them out of Oregon. Great company, specialized in clothes, doing work on bikes now. You can check them out at crashinclothing.com. They got a lot of great stuff. Hey, head on over there. Maybe they got something you like. And we can't forget Wild Ass. You like pounding miles, you like riding, you want to be in comfort? Hey, maybe strap a Wild Ass into your ass and ride with an air cushion and be comfortable for hours. And can't forget Custom Dynamics, leading the industry in lighting LED technology. Man, these guys got some great stuff. So head on over to Custom Dynamics and check it out. Now, let's get to another milepost of the V-Twin Life. What is going on, everybody? And thanks for tuning in to another episode, another milepost. We're knocking down 108 tonight with Rachel. Came to hang out after I got to meet her last week, and I figured, hey, why not take this full spectrum and go the other way and bring you on and hear your story, because you wanted to talk to some of us about mile monsters. And it's like, I'm really not sure who you are, but you enjoy motorcycles. You ride a lot after seeing your social media. It's like you'd be a perfect person to come hang out with. So, hey, thanks for, as we talked, you literally pulled over to the side of the road because you're out riding and going to hang out for a little while.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to get on here and talk with you. Thanks, D Woods.
Heck yeah. So, well, let's start where I like to with everybody. How did you find motorcycles? Where did it all come into life for you?
Well, I would have to say when I was about 25, I had just gotten out of college and I was home for a few months and not really doing a whole lot. And at that time, I was dating someone who rode motorcycles, so I went on a few rides. And he had a sport bike, and then I just got hooked probably after the fifth ride. And then I got my certification and joined the Christian Motorcyclist Association as well at the same time.
Nice. So, what was your first bike? What'd you start with?
I had a Yamaha V-Star 1100, and then I had that one for about 4 or 5 years. And then I had a Harley Softail Slim, and now I have a 21 Road King.
Nice. It's funny. Actually, I got a V-Star sitting right out here in front of me. My son's got a V-Star 1300.
Yeah, they're awesome. Is it
They're
a
great
Roadstar or
bikes.
V-Star?
He's got the 1300 V-Star touring model.
Oh, okay. Very good.
I was amazed when he picked it up. He didn't have his endorsement or anything yet. So I rode it home, which was about 120-ish mile ride. And they are comfortable. I will say the one thing I don't like about them is it's a touring model and they didn't put a gas gauge on it. I think that's the only downfall, really. But all their styling, I mean, God, they're a great bike for anybody that wants to get into it. And
Yeah. I hardly had any service issues up until I got to Colorado. The stator went out, had to get that replaced. But yeah, I had the gas gauge on there, and unfortunately, it was totaled in a ride that I was participating in. Somebody cut me off and ran into my front wheel doing an illegal right turn in the middle of an intersection. And that got totaled with about 80,000 miles on it. And when I was 26, it had 15,000 miles on it when I bought it. So it was really cool. It was a great bike, really reliable, and low center of gravity for people that are height challenged like me.
it does have low seat height. That is
Yeah.
true. But yeah, I'm impressed with them. They're great bikes.
Yes.
So what was one of your favorite things? I mean, you got into it, but was it just mainly your boyfriend at that time that really sparked you with motorcycles? And
Well, it was just the ride. Like, I mean, we didn't talk too much about mechanics or anything like that. I just really, really enjoyed how I felt, being a part of nature, the wind. I thought it was just such an incredible way to travel. And I saw a lot of possibilities. I definitely wanted to do something that was ministry based. If I was going to take it to the next level, get a motorcycle, get my certification. So I did a basic rider course in my local area. And it's just really grown from there. I've gone a little further and further every year, riding farther. And it's turned into destination riding across the country, going out of the country. And I absolutely love it.
Nice. So out of the country, you're talking like Mexico or Canada or both?
Yeah, I went to Canada for a few days when I moved to Colorado. Let's see, almost 8 years ago. So this would have been probably 2017 is when me and a bunch of ladies decided to take a trip to Canada, and I made it all the way to Jasper. Went through the national park, Banff and Kootenay. We stayed in Radium, and we just had a really, really good time.
Banff is on my list. That is one I want to get to.
Yeah.
And I was surprised. I was mapping it out. It's a 12-hour ride from my house to get to Banff. And it's
Wow.
on my list. I definitely want to do it. I might see about doing it on a weekend trip, maybe next summer, but
Yeah,
it is absolutely gorgeous. And it is a place I definitely want to go visit for sure.
definitely. Gotta do it.
Yeah. I had a friend that rode up by there actually. Steve Weber, who was one of my buddies here in town, he rode up there by into Alberta on his Monster 100 yesterday on the second one.
Oh, very cool.
He
That's
went from that
awesome.
area.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I think the Canadian Rockies, although the altitude or I guess the altitude, it might not be as high as like the Colorado Rockies in some of those areas, but you're just so much closer. So the scene is like way more stunning and breathtaking because you're not actually that far away from the mountain itself.
Right. You went up that way. Did you go through the Grand Tetons by chance?
We did. We went through Glacier as well. Couldn't hit the Sun Road because at that particular time there was still snow and it was closed. But by the time we got back from Canada, we hit Whitefish a little late in the day, and so that it was like, I don't know, July 7th or something at that point. But it was too late for us to head over there. But they had just opened the Sun Road, and I wish I could go back and see that sometime. So I'll have to do that.
Yeah, I know my wife and I thought about that on the way home from Sturgis, but I've talked to a friend who has a friend of mine, his dad's been working up there, and I guess right now they're doing tons of road construction. So it's like, yeah, I'm going to pass on that.
Oh.
So, but I know you did what? The hogback twister challenge this weekend?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. This is my second year doing that. It's hosted by the Hogback Distillery, and Graham, who is Scottish, he has a bourbon distillery. I don't know if bourbon and whiskey are the same, but he might do
no, they're not.
Well. So
I like my bourbon, so that's all I can.
You like your bourbons? Okay, yeah. Good. And so they've done this every, well, not every. I don't know how many they've done, but they do this for the firefighters, is what I was going to say. And so it's a poker run / mountain ride. It's about 350 to 60 miles, depending. We had some detours this time, so it made it a little bit longer. And there's usually in Estes Park, as part of the route to complete, there's usually like a 12-mile or marathon, like a half marathon or a full marathon going on the same weekend. So you have to kind of fight with that traffic and then fight with the bicycling traffic, and it's all in the mountains, everything. So you're on
Estes Park. I think that's where the Stanley Hotel is.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep. We ride.
My wife wants to go visit that very badly.
Yeah, they do kind of fun things up there, like there's a speakeasy. They've got like little scary ghost haunting tours and things like that. So Halloween gets pretty wild up there.
Oh, I bet. I know my buddy Frank Orlando, he's down there riding the Hogback Twister Challenge. He likes to go down there, and he keeps poking at me for in the near future, maybe taking the Monsters Over Mountains ride and do it a little earlier and tie that into the Hogback Twister Challenge and make it a even little bit bigger, more mountains, more passes, and it's an idea.
Yeah, you guys have to let me know if you do that. I was talking with Frosty, and she was thinking about her and her husband coming over next year. So yeah, the more the merrier. It's they open it up to about 400 riders. I think out of the 400 this year, 340 showed up. So it's an all-day event. Takes about anywhere from 8 to 12 hours. The first slot leaves out of the distillery at 6 a.m. and then they release 15 riders like every 5 minutes. So it's a staggered start for a couple of hours. So
That's not a bad
everybody,
idea, though.
yeah, it's people come far and wide to this thing, and so just to prevent a whole lot of people bunching up together. They do the stagger start, and everything goes to the local fire departments, and the fire departments host the poker stops, and they make hot dogs, and so you can purchase things to support the firehouse.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So now with all your motorcycle adventures, like online, you're, kind of call yourself like a digital creator. So what are you kind of going with, building a following and, social media wise when it comes to motorcycling?
That whole digital creator thing kind of just happened because I was accumulating quite a bit of friends on Facebook, and they cap you. So you have to like convert your page into like a business page. And that's like one of the options to list yourself. And so I'm
Okay.
kind of in this spot where I don't know yet. I'm trying to figure this all out. Balancing all of the socials, how to grow a following. There's a lot of people out there that love motorcycles the same way that I do, and have a lot of similarities in terms of their content. And I'm still kind of just working on that. I hope one day I figure it out, and this could be like a full-time job or something, or work for Harley. Just saying.
Yeah, yeah. That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah. So I've kind of been having fun with Hot Wheels Rachel, because um, it reminds me of just like being really carefree, outgoing. And that's the spirit, that I feel I embody and represent when I'm on my motorcycle, when I'm in the community. And I just want people to be happy and feel the love that I get whenever I'm on my motorcycle, and to share that with the world.
That's fair. I mean, I like it. Now I
Yeah.
know it seems like you have a fondness for murals.
Oh, I do. Yes. I do. I will travel far and wide. What's really fun about the murals is just how random all of them are when I find them. I'll be driving one direction down a street and not see it, and then I'll go back the opposite direction, and then I'll spot a bunch of them. And yeah, I like to capture them. I love street art of all kinds.
Yeah, there is some amazing one, and also even you see some of the amazing style of graffiti art that these
Yeah,
people can create with spray cans, and
yeah,
I mean, some of it is absolutely mind blowing what they can do.
yeah. Yep. And what's really cool is how fine the lines can be. When you think
Ah,
of like a spray nozzle, you're thinking of like this like wide burst of um, paint that could come out, but they can really make it very detailed. And that's the beauty in it all.
true. So, what do you think's been kind of your favorite trip of? I mean, I guess we could go this year, but even if you open up to since you started riding, do you
Yeah.
have a favorite, adventure that you took? Let's go your whole spectrum of riding. What's
Okay.
one that you think that would be one of your favorite that even you would love to redo again and go?
Man, redo again. This was hard for me. Oh man. Um,
It can be
I don't
difficult.
know. Well, I would love to go back to Canada. Like, I would love to go all the way up to Edmonton, and then go to Alaska. So I would love to redo that, and then hit the Sun Road for Glacier. And I just recently missed that opportunity with a few friends who just got back on Monday from like a 4 or 5 week trip to Alaska. So I'm thinking of maybe next year when you guys are going to Alaska for the Hoka Hay, that I could meet some of the homies up there and do my own little solo trip and make it all the way to Prudhoe Bay.
That would be fun. I know the Hoka Hay is kind of something I've considered and thought about. I know after
Yeah.
you know it was fun to go meet up with everybody last year because I've got to know a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of the top finishers through, this adventure of doing the V twin life. And,
Yeah.
when I heard about it, it's like, shoot, it's not that far. And we end up, make kind of a family vacation, whatnot out of it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
after my wife started following it and seeing, there are accidents and whatnot that happens. And unfortunately, it's like it seems almost yearly there's a rider that passes in it. And it is a big thing of knowing when you need to stop and take a break. And she
Yeah.
told me that I could never ride it. I said, well, I don't have plans or intentions of riding it in 24, but 26 still up in the air. And you never know. And
Yeah.
I know
It's
it would be
pretty
neat
grueling.
to attempt it to see, if if I could finish it within 14 days. I mean, there's no way something like that. I mean, I think that's more of a challenge to say, can I complete it? Is more of a challenge to say, I want to be number one, because that's not going to happen. But I think it'd be really cool to see if,
Be a
a
finisher.
personal test. Do you have what it takes to be a finisher?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
to all those that have done it, man, I tip my hat. I mean, it's no easy feat to win that one or even finish.
Yeah, I think that would be the goal is you have to kind of reconcile like a little bit with your ego, I think. And
Oh, for sure.
know when it's time to stop, when you're risking your safety, and is it all worth it just to become the next in memory patch, right? Like you don't
That's a
want to
very
do
good
it.
way of putting it. Very true.
You want to survive, get back to your family, and then continue on doing the thing that you love. So I don't think that I'm interested in it at this time, but I definitely support the folks that are. I think it means a lot to them when we're cheering them on. We're praying for them, we're encouraging them, and just watching out for their safety when they need help and stuff. And I think that's really fun. And the Hoka Hares, they've got a really strong bond with one another, and that's something that I can glean from that community and that relationship of folks. And yeah, it's just another great long distance group, another way to get involved. And um, for those folks that are interested in that, that's there for them. So it's cool. You can
And it's
meet them
like,
along the way, like me.
yeah. Well, and what's great, I mean, like, Go Home Ken put it a great way. I mean, I've been fortunate to become really good friends with them. I think we have, a couple phone calls a month. But he's made a good point in one of the episodes. I think it might have been a minor was on Craig's, but you need, when you're doing something like this, you're doing endurance riding, period. Whether you're doing IBA rides, the IBA rally, okay. I mean, there's a lot of these long distance endurance challenges. Is you need to know your body, and you need to know the difference
Yeah.
between being sleepy and tired, because it's
Yeah.
different. And that's
Yeah.
the big thing. You got to know when to say, okay, it's time to catch. It's nap time.
Yep.
I need some rest, instead of trying to push it. Because you hear stories of the guys. I mean, I've had multiple ones on here that talk about really pushing it to the point they're still riding, but they're hallucinating because they're still going. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's a dance. You got to know when to step out, though.
It's hard to judge depth perception and really know what's reality at that point, and it's just so risky. And there's more nobility in bowing out and saying, you know what, I need to stop. And I think that's the lesson. That's the motivation for others who want to get involved, and learning that skill can be hard to succumb to at times. You don't want to give up, and maybe it's sooner than you think, and you're a really strong rider, but we'd rather have folks come back alive and safe and happy and be able to share those stories than not. And I got to give a shout out to my girl Abby Spate. She was in that position where at the last Hoka Hay, she rode her panhead.
Actually, I have pictures with her from the Hoka last year at Black Hills.
Yeah, yeah.
I got to meet her and talk with her.
She's amazing. Like, I love her. She used to live in the area close to me in Colorado, and then her and her husband live a couple of hours away in Bayard, Nebraska. She still teaches here at the Harley shop, and she's like one of my biggest mentors. I did my first iron butt run with her, and then I did the second iron butt run, which was my first Bun Burner Gold, and we just killed it. And she's such an inspiration, and she knew, taking her bike on the Hoka Hay with that panhead It could be risky. She looked it over, 2, 3, 4, 5 times with her husband. They got ready, got set, and then she was off. And she did over 7,000 miles on that bike on the Hoka Hay, and that is just amazing. And she got to that point where she had to, say, is it worth it to ruin my bike? Is it worth it to, risk my safety to continue on, if I continue having these mechanical problems and all of that. And she couldn't ride like in the beginning of the day. She had to let the bike warm up quite a bit. So it was just a different race, and I appreciate her for being so brave and going out there doing what she loves, but then knowing, okay, I want to save my bike and I want to make sure I get home alive to my husband, and she did, and
Yeah,
she's
because
a
she
winner.
was she was one of two panheads that Boost Fighter High that rode for Mile Monsters took his panhead also.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
incredible, incredible.
So I mean, you kind of took away my next question was going to be, how did you get into wanting to do the, IBA rides and whatnot? So I
Yeah.
assume, Abby was a big part of getting you into the IBA.
Yeah, she asked me, if I wanted to do 1,000 miles in 24 hours. I mean, she'd seen that I was riding quite a bit, and we got to know each other over the years. She would host a toy run that my Christian motorcycle group would be a part of. And I just fell in love with her. Like, she's just real independent. She's like just doesn't take shit from anybody. She calls the shots, and I really appreciated that. And she rides hard, and I love that about her. And so I started venturing out, riding more and more and more. And we just kind of, I don't know, our personalities are alike in that way. We're pretty chill folks. We don't get excited over anything really. And we love riding motorcycles. And what better, way to get involved than to do it with her. So she took me under her wing, and I did my first IBA ride with her. We killed it. I wasn't like complaining or like, that probably set well with her. Like, wow, like I can actually go ride with somebody and they're not going to be like, oh, it's too hot, or, oh, it's raining, I got to pull over, I can't, keep going. Um, and it just developed more and more from there. So she's awesome.
So did you feel after the first one that I know for me, when I did my first one, it became very addicting.
Yeah. I feel like my addiction's a little bit slow though, because I'm like trying to figure out between some of the motorcycle events that I do for the community, where am I going to take my riding? Where am I going to focus my time and efforts um, as I try to build some sort of, following, support, and niche, within motorcycles. But I am really, really drawn to long distances. I love just being out on the highway and throwing down miles. And so I think that's where my next steps will be, is to, you know, embark on some serious iron butt rides and challenges.
Well, the nice thing, they have so many of them. I mean, you pull up the page, and I mean, there is pages of
Yeah.
different ones, and there's a lot of challenges. I know the coast to coast, that's one I would like to get done soon.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've made a list of about a dozen. Of course, the cool thing is they even have for me riding a road glide, they have a road
A
glide
road
iron,
glide.
but ride your
Yeah.
road glide 1,000 miles. You have the all in state rides, the coast to coast. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of them. And
Yeah.
now they actually have individual state rides too for all the states and
Yep.
the X rides. And
Yeah.
it's cool. It's a fun challenge and just another reason to get out and ride.
I think some of the fun ones are like the Egg Sanity. Tamika Wade, aka Piper. Shout out to her. She's going for her platinum level um, mile eater certification. But she and her friend, I think his name is Wilson, Jim Wilson. He and her just did an ice cream insanity. They did a 4th of July. I've done Father's Day, some summer solstice. Just did the mile monsters, so that'll be one. Um, and I'm trying to think. I would love to do the birthday one. I think that one's pretty cute. There's a pie one. You can go trade pies with somebody
Oh, there's a
for the
coffee one
pie.
too. You
Yeah,
different coffee shops. Yeah.
yeah. There's so many, and it's just fun. Whatever piques your interest. I think Abby did one, a Mother's Day one with her son. I'd love to get a Valentine one going for Colorado because we've got Loveland, Colorado here. There's Valentine, Nebraska. So IBA, like, we got to do something about that. We got to do like a
I don't
Valentine.
know. That time of year, can you? I mean, I'm not in Colorado, so I don't know how hard it'd be. Like, February being out on the motorcycle in Colorado with Mother Nature throwing,
It's hit or
a
miss.
serious freaking curveball at you.
It's hit or miss. I mean, there's been times in January where it's like 60 and 70. And like, I've got a picture in my living room, me and 3 of my girlfriends. We were like having lunch in Lyons, and we had no jackets on. We went with a group ride to have some barbecue at Smoking Dave's, and it was like hot and no snow. Like, it was so beautiful.
Damn.
You would have thought it was spring or summer. So it's hit or miss, but I think that's part of the challenge, though.
Very true. I mean, it's like riding. I have some friends, want to go for riding time. It's like, dude, it's pouring
Yes.
rain. Well, let's just go ride. It's like,
Yes.
I don't ride in the rain for fun. It's one thing if you're on a ride, you're going somewhere,
Yes.
it rains. Yeah,
absolutely.
that'll happen. But just to go ride around for a while, no, I'm over that. I don't do that anymore.
I'm with you. I got one of my friends, her name's Jackie. She's got 3 beautiful boys, and her husband both ride. And she laughs at me because she's like, I'm not putting my big girl panties on and going to ride in the rain. Like, she teases me because that's what usually happens when I'm riding, is there's some rain involved.
Well, I think, when you're traveling, it's going to happen. I mean, you're doing a multi-day adventure. You're bound to find Mother Nature somewhere, and cool, you got to deal with it. But yeah, for a fun day ride, knowing it's pouring, no, sorry, different story. Have a nice day. I'm staying home.
I think that's one of the things that I've learned, getting, more into long distances, is that you really do need to dress for all of the elements. I learned that watching the Iron Butt Rally this year. Just, it could be really, really cold in some of the areas in the morning, despite that it's summertime, or you could just be going through some crazy thunderstorms, in the Midwest or the South. And I've done Run for the Wall too, and one of the routes, the central route, anytime they go to Colorado, over Raton Pass, no matter what, it always snows. And I can't get with that. Like, that's just like crazy to me how it's the middle of, or the beginning of summer, I guess, but it snows like really, really bad up there during that time.
Well, I mean, and it goes along. I mean, you're talking about, for weather and occasion, stuff's going to happen.
Yeah.
The old saying is, dress for the slide, not the ride.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I'm guilty. I'll ride in a t-shirt, when it's hot, but
look at me.
You see people in, shorts and whatnot. I will, for me personally, I always wear my boots. I wear my jeans, and I'll ride in a t-shirt sometimes, my vest on, but personally myself, I will not ride in tennis shoes, and I do not ride in shorts. And that's just me. I've grown up riding from dirt bikes and everything else, and that's my own personal thing.
Yeah.
And everybody has their own thing, and that's totally cool. We all do our own thing, but that's just my little rule.
I won't go shorts, but I can be pretty casual, like depending on where I'm going. Like right now, I just rode over from Greeley to Loveland, so I'm like really casual. I have on some Vans, even not even boots. And I know that some of my mentors, they get nervous for me, and they reach out and they're like, "Oh, you should wear a jacket. You need to wear your jacket. Oh, girl, where's your jacket at?" But like you said, we all have our own thing. And for me, I'll put on more gear when I know that I'm going to be gone for quite a while, like maybe I'm going to be going up to the mountains, or it's really cold. I just kind of have different levels of gear too. So I've got like mesh jackets for when it's really hot. I have cooling gear that you can get wet and douse, and it'll keep you cool on those hot days. And then I've got my really warm gear too. So I'd love to get some heated gear. That's something that I don't have. And I'm really bad. Like, I don't like wearing chaps. Like, I hate things that really constrict you, I guess. Or it's just such a burden to have to pull up all those extra layers. So I will get something that's like a climb suit that you just wear throughout the day, and that's your gear, that's your raincoat, that's all of the things that you need to protect you and functioning as your outfit for the day. So that's what
Yeah,
I'll
see,
suggest.
I got my chaps. I also have, when it comes to weather condition, I have my Joe Rocket, the
Yeah,
ballistic touring coat. I have the, the Joe Rocket pants that can go
yeah,
on and that are pretty waterproof. I don't want to
yeah,
say resistant or whatnot, but but everything has its limits. I found that out with, my Joe Rocket coat. It said it's supposed to be waterproof, resistant, whatever they want to say. And I got in the
yeah,
worst monsoon of my life this spring in Portland, and it soaked through it in under a minute, and I had water pooling in my elbows. And it's just one of those deals. You keep going, but it's you're going on a trip. I guess if for me, you're going a long distance, multi days. Just pack accordingly. It might be warm
yeah,
you're leaving. It's like, hey, I don't need my coat, but
yeah,
let me throw it in the bag. And there's just little things that can make a big difference. It's easy to dress in layers and be able to shed layers off too, and then an Under Armour shirt, a long sleeve shirt,
yeah,
a t-shirt, whatnot. You get somewhere, okay, cool, it's getting warm. Well, let me take this layer off, and it's a lot easier to
yeah.
keep your body temperature regulated
Regulated.
when you got
Yep.
layers.
Yeah, and I'm actually really good about the packing thing. Um, Part of the reason why I think I don't have or wear a lot of gear anyway is because I don't like excess. And so when it comes to packing, I pack exactly what I need. Things usually have a multi-purpose. They serve a multi-purpose. So, maybe my rain gear might be my cold weather gear too. Um, and I don't overpack or carry a lot of excess things. So I'm pretty good about that. I just need to really get like a solid boot and suit combo that's going to serve me going across the country.
Boots are a big thing. I've gone through multiple pairs. I've one of my favorite pairs I wore forever were actually a pair of my Danners that I had, and they
Mm-hmm.
were amazing boots. I loved them, and God, I've had them. Honestly, I bought them it was 99 when I started working for Department of Corrections.
Oh,
And
wow.
I've had 5 or 6 sets of soles put on them,
Oh, wow.
and they're getting wore out, but I can't bring myself to throw them away.
Yeah, they had those on sale at, oh, what's it called? Not Sierra Trading Post, but another department store like them. Mm, Let me think. What's another one? D Woods, like Murdoch's. There's
Um, I don't
um
know. I'm horrible about
yeah,
that, but there's another brand. I know you can get them online, and I've had an opportunity to try them out this year, and I need to
yeah.
do try to do some video thing. It's actually Indie Ridge.
Oh, okay.
I got a pair of their boots to try, and the one thing that I really loved about them, just for my own self, was
Yeah,
the ankle support. They're really stiff around the ankles.
yeah.
They're comfortable. They are water resistant. I rode them through some pouring rain, and my feet were dry.
Oh,
But I
wow.
love the extra ankle support because I've broke my ankles a few times in my younger years doing motocross and whatnot, and my ankles are very bad. So having that, that
Yeah,
ankle support for me was huge, and I'm really impressed with their boots. They have some good quality, and they have different colors and whatnot. There's black, different colors of tan ones, but
yeah,
they are a good quality boot. I was impressed with them.
yeah. Ankle support is huge, and then for me, when I'm looking at boots, I like something that's lightweight and that has a really strong foam sole. So it's
Hmm.
really durable. You can step on rocks and debris like that, and it won't really puncture. But they're very lightweight, so that you can walk around comfortably. Your shins and calves aren't getting tired, and you're not feeling like you're lugging around like bricks on your feet. So that's something that I look for. Because if I get off the motorcycle, let's say I'm at a national park, I want to still be able to kind of climb around or walk on rocks and things and do some walking comfortably without having to change into another shoe.
See, that's
And
where,
be careful.
and I was impressed that way with the Indie Ridge. They are comfortable. I will say they do use, I guess it seems, a good quality leather because it does take a little bit to break them in, but
Yeah,
they are comfortable for all day use, but you just got to break them in.
yeah,
And I think that says something for a company's construction is if you put them on, they're great and real flexible, especially if they're supposed to be leather and they just are great. I don't think you're getting the best quality, but with the Indie Ridge, it did take a little bit to break in, and I was impressed with the construction. And honestly, looking at doing another pair of boots probably in the spring because I just wear the shit out of them. And I might actually go with another set of those. They're good. I'm impressed.
Where did you get your soles redone when you had to take care of that?
With my Danners, I had those done at a local boot and shoe store here in Port Angeles.
Okay. Yeah, we've got White Sides out here in Colorado, and I think that they sell like Harley boots and any sort of steel toe work boot. But I think they also resole as well. So it's pretty cool.
And the ones that I would recommend, I mean, for me, what great was comfort is a lot of people use them as the Vibram soles. They're a good bottom. And so
Yeah.
I mean, for my Danners, I can't speak down about it. I mean, I've had them for 23. So I have 24 years of use, and I've abused the hell out of them, and they've been great. And I know people, if you go down to the Portland area where the Danner Boot Factory is, you can actually go down there and buy what they call number twos. So say in the construction, a seam doesn't lay straight, say the seam goes sideways, there could be a blemish in the leather. You can get a very substantial discount when you can buy their number twos, and they only sell those in their store. But Danners are a great quality boot. I know they're huge in the Northwest, especially within the logging community, and they're a trusted name for a long time. But I mean, we all have our own brands that we like, and for me, I mean, I've had a few pairs of Danners. I mean, my wife bought me another pair for work this summer, and because my first ones I have, they're I think 9.5 inch tall, so they they're kind of taller boots. But for me, I liked a little bit taller just because for me, it's just ankle support is the biggest thing.
Yeah. Well, so Danners, are they just like a multi-purpose type of boot? Because that was my question.
They have many different types.
I was going to say, are they truly like a motorcycle boot? I know you can use them, welding and construction.
I mean, they make ones, I mean, law enforcement specific military boots. There's hiking boots, your everyday boots. I mean, they have a very wide selection of boots, and, with Gore-Tex waterproof, they have different levels of denier and insulation in them. So it all depends what a person wants, but they have a ton of different lineups of different boots. I mean, they make a very wide spectrum from hiking to law enforcement to military to everyday use, casual. I mean, you name it, they make a ton of them. And that's just one company that I can speak highly of because I've had multiple pairs and, they're a good product.
Awesome. Yeah, they're pretty dope.
So what do you got more, what's planned for more of, adventures you have going on coming up to the future?
Well, we're going to go to Sturgis next weekend, and then I'll meet you guys for the end of the road party that the Mile Monsters are hosting on the 11th in Sturgis. So I'll be in Sturgis next weekend and the weekend after. And I don't know. I registered for the Valkyrie Ladies Rally, which is a brand new ladies rally. It's an introduction to long distance rallies for first timers or experienced rallyists. And this is put on by Chris Hopper. And I can't remember the other gentleman who also is, who created it, but the rally master is Nancy Oz. So she did a lot of the odometer checks for Iron Butt Rally this year, and she scopes out a lot of different rally spots. And this one will be starting in Arkansas, and that's the first weekend in October, which also lines up with Ride to Eat Texas. So I was trying to figure out how I could do both. But that's definitely something that I'm scheduled, paid, and plan to do. And just get some miles in other states that I haven't been to. I want to get my Washington. I want to get my Oregon. And who knows what else I can muster up.
Do you got any bucket list adventures that you want to try to knock out? Say like, next year, say 2 years, 2 bucket list trips. Have you ever got any going?
2 bucket lists. It would be Hawaii and Alaska. Like I will have, if I get those 2 states, I will have completed all 50 states within 10 years of riding. So that would be cool.
But Nancy's actually, Jeff Chauncey's in the side chat. She is 2009 IBR finisher also.
Oh, that's awesome. Love it. Yeah, maybe that would be something I could add to my list, is qualifying for an iron butt rally. That'd be cool.
That would be something. I know that's a whole nother animal that could
Yeah.
really test a person's soul and plus
Yep.
navigation skills. It's been fun. I've had the honor to talk to a few people that have done it, and it was fun to pick their brain and hear the stories. And
Yeah.
it seems like a cool reason to ride. I mean, it's a lot more than a ride, but the scavenger hunt theme of it, to getting your points and whatnot, just seems pretty damn cool. And then you got to have some serious navigation skills to get as much as you can and make it to the checkpoints within the windows.
So the Valkyrie rally that I'm doing in October is a mini rally like that. So, you got checkpoints. They'll give us a packet. We will have a flag. It's an introduction to long distance rally. So I'm excited. I don't think my navigation skills are that great. I feel like that's something that I work on every time I'm out and about. So that would be really cool to, challenge myself in that way. What's also really cool is that Wendy Crockett is signed up to do the rally. She won it. I think 2017, 2018, something like that. And then Kirsten Talking Spalding is also in the rally, and she's done the Iron Butt Rally 5 or 6 times, and just recently this year she completed the top 20. So she is really cool because she does the Iron Butt Rally as a team, and she is the driver, and she has a guy that's her passenger.
Oh, dang. It's like Jeff said, if you can get a copy of Hard Miles 2, it's a documentary on the 2009 rally, and she's in it.
Yeah.
Or she's on it.
So I got a chance to meet her and her wife and their lovely bunch of dogs at the Iron Butt starting point in Pittsburgh. And I was also privileged to go check out the checkpoint in Denver this year when the Iron Butt Rally came through. So that was really, really cool. I learned quite a bit.
It's fun. I mean, I had the same thing when I was able to the starting in the Hoka last year, is looking at everybody's bikes and their setups and learning from it and seeing how they have stuff set up. And it's like, it's impressive to see what some people do and, basically say the kit they build for what they do.
So I got to give a shout out to Sharif Asadi. One of the things that I appreciate about motorcyclists is that people just kind of keep it original. Don't try to do anything extra. So he was the only Indian challenger at the Iron Butt Rally this year. He was probably maybe there were very few, but he didn't add an auxiliary tank. There were no, any special gizmos and gadgets that he used to complete his rally. And I think that would be my approach anyway. I know some people live and swear by the navigation that the Iron Butt Rally wants you to have. And he just did it like all original, like as if he was going out and doing a 1K or something. And I think that's pretty freaking cool.
Well, yeah, and plus, what's other cool is actually shout out to Reef was Milepost 33, almost 100 ago.
Yeah,
close. Because I've had Reef, I've K Solo, Riot, Go Home Ken, Diesel, who won the year before last. I mean, it's been cool to meet a lot of these guys, and as the list goes up, more people like Jeff and a lot of these guys, and it's so much fun to meet these people. It's cool.
Yeah, and to pick their brains, and there's just so many different ways to skin a cat, and I just really appreciate all the knowledge. Abby, Reeve, Solo, Ron Van Sickle. I love you, Ron. Ron's going to be in Sturgis too. He's another avid long distance rider. I met him on my first run for the wall as an FNG. He's amazing. Just all the homies, Snacks, Cynthia. Whoop, whoop. Trying to think of anybody. Shaquila, what's up? The mileage bully. Like all these people, they just have such unique stories. You've got these women who are the first Black motorcycle school in Virginia and Tennessee. Just the first, Cynthia is the first one to go take the Pan America to Prudhoe Bay all the way down to the Ushuaia in South America. It's just there's so many like different facets to motorcycling, you know, and different areas of interest, and it's really cool to see that.
Well, and I think the other greatest thing is you meet these people, you can ask them questions, pick their brain, and I've never met anybody that was, I don't know how you want to say, a dick about it. I mean, everybody's so open and willing to help everybody.
Yeah,
There's no egos with all these
yeah,
people. It's, hey, I'm doing this great. What do you
yeah,
think? Do you think you're ready? And there's a lot, little pointers and the tips and whatnot. And I think
yeah,
that's so awesome with the motorcycle community. And
yeah,
at least for me, with everybody that I've been able to run into, and everybody's always there to, lend a hand, lend some advice and help
yeah,
point you in a direction and answer your
yeah,
questions. And, it's an awesome community to be part of.
yeah. And you don't even always have to really know somebody. You know,
Yeah.
you follow these motorcycle groups, you see somebody needs help. Sharif, in his last Hokahay, he went to help a motorcyclist repair something, and he ended up getting hurt and was unable to finish his Hokahay, you know. And to think that somebody would pull over knowing that they might risk their own, you know, entry or ability to finish, I think that's really huge, especially
True.
when it's like your first or your second, and you really like have this on your heart to do it, you know, and helping others becomes more important than, you know, the color of your skin, your what's
It's
in your
the
bank account,
camaraderie.
yeah, or even the bike you ride, like that. It just all goes away. It's like sport. It is a sport, you know, just like any other sport. Everybody comes together in the name of motorcycles, and it's really cool.
Yeah. A lot of people say that I don't care what a person rides. You're out enjoying, you're out
Yeah,
riding. Awesome.
yeah,
Cool. Let's go do it.
totally.
I'm not brand specific to, a brand
No,
specific to anybody. I don't care what you ride. You're out doing what we all enjoy. And it's all about just getting out there. Go explore America. Get off the
yeah,
interstates, run the back roads and see America and see the country that so many people will never experience because they want to go A to B and just get there ASAP. But
yep,
if you
or
want to take some time, get
yeah,
off these interstates, get the back highways, go find
yeah,
mom and pop restaurants and places and small town motels
yeah,
and explore the country, because there's so much to see within our own borders besides of, the bucket list travels of Europe. I want to go here. I want to go there. When
yeah.
so many people have only seen 10% of our own country.
That I think is what drives me really. I mean, there's just so many hidden gems out there, and America has so much to offer. I mean, you talked about murals. You know, look at San Francisco, look at Miami, look at Pittsburgh. There's just so much street art. And then you add tour of honor. If you're into the military, um, you can go visit these tour of honor military sites that, you
Oh,
know,
Tour of Honor is cool. And
you
well,
know,
Jason Setzer was putting together a run. I don't, I can't remember if it fully went off this year, if it's going to be next year, called Mural Madness. And
ah,
he had some big companies working with, there's some serious awesome prizes, but little things, you couldn't take a picture of a mural, then go 5 miles down the road and get another picture there. There
yeah,
was some distance, regulations, but it was like a 3 month or going to be a 3 month run of finding murals across the country. And I mean, anybody could enter from anywhere. It didn't matter where you lived,
yeah,
and looked like it was going to be pretty cool. I'm not sure if it started this year, so maybe that will be next year, but he
yeah.
had a pretty cool thing going,
I
or a
know
good idea.
Go home Ken, he's doing some sort of mural challenge right now. So if you follow him, check him out. He's been taking some really dope pics.
Oh,
I'm
he's
not
always
sure what he's
doing
going.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ken is always going all over the place. That guy is
Yep.
forever riding. I swear every time I talk to him, he's going down the highway.
Is there any rain in the
Yeah.
area? He attracts the rain too.
Yeah. Never forget Florida, Ken.
I think people were joking with him in the IBA group about that. Like, oh, they would screenshot different thunderstorms on the radar, and they're like, oh, Ken must be nearby. So that's
Wheels
pretty
on
fun.
walls.
Yeah.
That's what Jeff just commented, the deal he's doing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, it's fun to follow all these people's ventures, and it's It's also cool. You get a lot of these people, you can,
Yeah.
by seeing their picture, what they're sharing, you can see these places like, hey, cool. Let me add that to my pages of, bucket list adventures of places and that I want to, visit and see for my own eyes. And that's the fun of it. That's why I'm looking forward to, like, my wife and I, we come back from Sturgis, we're going a total different way than we went, but going to be riding, back highways the whole way home, and it'll be fun.
So the one thing I want to put out about the murals, if you ask me where I've taken the picture at, I might not tell you, because part of the challenge with the murals is finding it. Kind of doing some investigation, and scoping it out for yourself. And that's generally like 95% of the time how I find these murals. I see it somewhere, I'll be driving, I'll have to like drop a pin, and then when I get my bike, I'll go back and take a picture of it. Or if I see something online as part of an article, I'll try to Google search, where that location is. And what's really cool, I just found out, one of the ladies that I work with at my job, her sister did a mural work in San Francisco. So I hope to go and take pictures of where her sister did that.
Oh,
I've
nice.
never really known anybody, to do that work. And I got to meet one of the mural artists from Denver, who's very prominent as well this year. So that was really cool.
That's cool. Yeah, it's neat to, be able to meet those people, because, the art they create is freaking unreal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, shoot, thanks for, pulling over on the side of the road and taking time out and coming to hang out and kind of sharing a little bit of your story.
Yeah. I hope that you have a great week. I can't wait to meet you, your wife, the gang, see all these kids that, are just living their best life with the Mile Monsters impact. So
it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that, to the banquet dinner Friday night over there.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome to see you guys.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Hey, thanks for coming on. If you want, let everybody know where they can follow you. Give yourself a shout out.
Yeah, so I posted my link tree there, guys. It's really simple. If you type that link in, I've got little buttons that'll take you straight to my Instagram, Facebook. I just created a TikTok, and I need to probably beef up my Snapchat, but those things are all ready to go. I have to find a way to cross post, I think, to make it easier for myself to, be active.
Yeah, some I don't know, especially with the TikTok. I think you can, but I don't know. That's one I have fun playing on sometimes. You make a fool of yourself, but I do a lot of my 360 videos on TikTok.
Well, yeah, and I put my motorcycle ones on there, and I love music, so I put it to some fun music. You might put a little caption on there or something, but yep, I'm on all the socials.
Perfect. Well, hey, thanks for taking a pit stop. I know you're out riding, so I guess you can enjoy the rest of your ride and have a good time.
Have a great one. Bye, everyone.
Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody, for Milepost 108. This will probably be the last one for a few weeks, as taking off to Sturgis will be gone for 12 days. I get back. I got the Monsters Over Mountains, 19th and 20th of August. So, hopefully we'll do some little videos from Sturgis, but there's not going to be much going on for episodes for about 3 to 4 weeks. So I'll definitely try to keep everybody updated. But Rachel, thank you for coming and hanging out for Milepost 108. Everybody, we will catch you soon. See you guys in the crossroads. Ride safe, have fun. Catch you guys in the open road.